Alright you guys, welcome to Fresh Cut Fishing. Today what I'm going to be doing is necessarily going over some lures that I like to use and how necessarily I like to use them and other ways you can use them. I am sick, so I may sound like I'm speaking from my nose, but yeah, so being that I'm sick and I can't go into work sick, what I'm going to do is use today to make that video. And right now, so today that's what we're going to be doing, some lure descriptions and maneuvers that you can do with the lures. And I'm going to also be doing pretty much a section of the video will be about the other day when I went over to K&R Bait and Tackle and my boy Gus showed me how to use a bait caster. I will go ahead and be talking about how that process went. If you guys haven't watched the video yet, you guys make sure to go ahead and go watch it. The link is in my description on Instagram. So, but yeah, I'm gonna be talking about the process and how hard it was to necessarily learn how to use a bait caster, and some pointers that my boy Gus gave me when using a bait caster. So, see you guys soon, and catch you on the other side. Alright you guys, so we're just gonna start. I don't want to waste no time. We're just gonna go through my bag and see what I got in there, and then I'll just describe those lures and what I like to use them for. So first up, what we have here is this new Lunker Hunt Yappa Frog that I just got not long ago. This is a top water lure, so no weight needed, and as you can see, it does have a cup at the mouth, so that adds more bubbles as you're reeling it in. That's what that cup is for. So on it says cup face displays water and calls fish in, wide gap up turn hook for better hook-up ratio. So that's just a description of the lure, how the hook is set up and what that cup is for. They also have different ways that you can fish this lure, which is necessarily just retrieving it, and once you retrieve it, it actually does have a walking action from left to right. That's the first lure, which is a Lunker Hunt Yappa Frog. Next, we have my action camera, which is a Suku C30 action camera, screen on the back. It has the Wi-Fi enabled, but honestly I don't use it. I just take out the SD card and transfer the videos onto my phone, which I'm having trouble with. That's why I even went and bought a couple things for my phone so I can just use my phone to get video footage, because sometimes my action camera does want to act stupid. But again, it is the Suku C30. I ordered this what is it, the My Premium body harness. That's where you put the camera onto, and then you would have it right here. So this is also something good to have when you do want to capture footage on the go. An action camera with the carrying case. This is a waterproof case. It actually has another case that you just hook onto the back and it will still fit in here like that. But I like to use this one just in case it does fall in the water. This is already on the camera. But Suku C30, My Premium body harness. Next, what we have here is a Kinshao Minnow, glow in the dark. I believe the depth is 10 foot to 20 foot diver right here. So this, what you do is you tie it on, cast it out there. When you're retrieving it, it will pretty much dive down as you're retrieving it. So you should be mindful of the depth of the water that you are fishing this lure in, as it goes down to 20 foot, which is pretty deep. So you're not going to use this in shallow water, none at all. This is the Kinshao Minnow, and it does glow in the dark. And I'm pretty sure to activate the glow in the dark feature is you do have to leave it in the sun. So leave it in the sun for about an hour to 2 hours before you fish it at night. and then I'm pretty sure it will glow. But I will be doing a video pertaining to the glow feature on here once I do bring it out to fish it. So next, what we have here is the Ultra Vibe Speed Craw Black and Glitter. Let me see if you guys can see that. We have the Zoom Ultra Vibe Speed Craw Black and Glitter. What I like to do is pretty much set this up on a hook, sometime without a bullet weight, sometime with a bullet weight, and I'll just slowly throw it out there and slowly retrieve it, or sometime I'll throw it out there and retrieve it while hopping it on the bottom of the ground. They do look like crawfish. Right there, perfect size, nothing too long. Red and black and red glitter. That is the Zoom Ultra Vibe Craw. Next, what we have is the Bass 10 Jig Black and Red. This is what I would hook that Ultra Vibe Craw up to on this hook, and then I would just skip it off the bottom, or I'll slowly retrieve it. It actually has weed guards right here. This is so you don't get caught up on any weeds or lily pads. That's what this is for. But again, I would use this with the craw jig. Well, with the craw lure, I'll hook it on here and then pretty much hop it off the bottom, or I would just slowly retrieve it. Next, well, what we have here also is a electronic portable scale. Maximum weight is 10 pounds. I just recently purchased this because I feel like I need one. Alright, so on to the next bag. What we have here, which is coming out of the pack, is the Yo-Zuri Crystal 3D Minnow. Give me 1 second. Alright, so we have the Yo-Zuri Crystal 3D Minnow. It is a floating lure, so necessarily when you cast this out, you will just be working it on the top of the water. If you want it to go down a little bit, you can always add a little weight, a little clip weight to the end of it, so it goes down to the necessary depth that you want it. Give me 1 second. So it does have a little bill right there, so it does actually go down a little bit as you are retrieving it. So when you're retrieving it, what you want to do with your rod, once you cast it out there, when you're reeling it in, you want to like yank it back to you, wheel, yank, yank, wheel, yank, yank, wheel, yank, yank, and then that will necessarily make it dance at the top of the water and also go down a little bit, so it will imitate more so a mullet or just a bait fish in general that has been hit and has been stunned. So any fish that would see it more so would take advantage of that and wreck it. So that is the Yo-Zuri Crystal 3D Minnow. Next, we have the Zoom Super Salt Plus Trick Worm. These right here are pretty long. I believe they're about 6, probably 10 inches. What I would do with these is necessarily throw it out there and hop it off the bottom. Slow retrieve and hop off the bottom with these boys right here, and they do get the job done. I have used them before to catch bass, so I know that they do work. These are the Arbogast poppers right here from the last video that I was explaining. I've never used a popper before, so once I do go ahead and tie these up and start using them, you guys should just look out for the video, because I definitely will be making one. Again, these are by Arbogast. Alright, you guys, so where we are now is we are on the Dinger Yum worm right here. What you would do is hook these up with a worm weight, which are these right here. and you see how the bottom of that weight is flat? It would sit on the flat part of this worm right here, and what you would do when you cast it out there is work it off the bottom of the ground or around some structure, and that weight gives it a little more, pretty much a little more weight, because these worms are pretty light. It gives it a good enough weight for it to sink at a decent pace. Next, what we have are the Swimming Super Fluke Smoking Shad, which is a dark gray top, light gray bottom with a blue glitter. I love these. Honestly, when I first bought them, I went straight out to the salt water and started pitching them. Jacks were destroying these in School of Mullet. They were absolutely destroying these flukes right here. So if you can, go ahead, Swimming Super Fluke Smoking Shad. Pick these up. Zoom and Yum are my favorite lure production company. They make some awesome lures when it comes to bass fishing or fishing in general. So if you can, as I said, go ahead and pick you up some of these Zoom Smoking Shads. They will get the job done. And as I said, not just freshwater, but saltwater. Next, we have some more flukes, White Pearls. As I said, salt or freshwater, these will get the job done, from snook to redfish, from peacock bass to largemouth bass to even snakehead. Flukes get the job done, especially when they're by Zoom. Next, we have a redfish jig right here by Tsunami. I haven't used it yet, but once I do, you know I'll be making a video. I have seen people use this same jig for peacock bass as well, so I might even try that out. But this is the Tsunami redfish jig, and this is the jig that most people do use for snook. This is the Buster Red Tail jig. See that? Got a red flare. It is white and red. But this is what I do see people use for snook. A lot of the times I've witnessed people catch snook with this jig numerous times. Again, this is the Buster Red Tail jig by Tsunami. You can pick up all of these lures at Walmart. That's where I got a majority of my lures. I did get them from Walmart. If I didn't get them from A&R, Bait and Tackle. So next up, what we have is one of my other favorites, Red Shad Worms from Zoom. Always get the job done when it comes to bass, largemouth especially. Red Shad Worms I honestly been using since I've been about probably 13 years old. Honestly, about 13 years old. They get the job done. As I said, Zoom does a superb job when it comes to their lures. These worms, period, overall, they get the job done. Necessarily, you might just want to look at the surroundings, because sometimes you will end up in an area where the bass will not hit these, but a lot of the times you will end up in an area where the bass will simply destroy these worms. Again, they are the Red Shad Super Worms, Super Salt Plus Red Shad U-Tails by Zoom. Make sure if you are a bass fisherman, you do have some Zoom products in your bait and tackle box. So next, what we have here is another Zoom product. As I said, I love Zoom. These are the Salty Super Fluke Arkansas Shiners. These also do a wonderful job when it comes to bass and snakehead, which I have caught both on these. They're a dark green color at the top, and then like a creamish color at the bottom. But these are an awesome lure when it comes to freshwater. I know that for a fact. You should be able to just look at this and say like, yeah, you know that bass are destroying this in the freshwater. The color is superb. I'm telling you, Zoom does an awesome job. Next, I'm pretty sure you guys remember these from the first video. If you don't, these are by Arbocast, some poppers. I've never fished poppers in my life, so when I do use these, I will definitely make a video. We have one in like a frog design, the next in the regular bait fish design, I believe, and then we have the white and red, which I guess is a bait fish also. But again, these poppers are by Arbocast. I did see these in Walmart and I wanted to try them out. So in the springtime, just be sure to look out for that video because I will be flipping these boys. Next up, what we have are the two green and cream. These also have the flat top head for the worm weights. They are green color. With a cream whitish bottom. Perfect colors, my own opinion. I don't know how you feel about that, but I know in South Florida waters, this is a perfect color. And trust me, I'm not sitting here just telling you guys these are perfect colors and these are perfect lures. I will be making videos pertaining to all these lures, and I will be putting it up so you see that these lures that I'm showing you are awesome bait when it comes to bass, especially. Whether it be peacock, largemouth, spotted, snakeheads. I know snakeheads aren't bass, but they are in our freshwater a lot now. So any freshwater predatory fish will be destroying these lures and baits that I'm showing you in this video, because I have caught them myself with these. Next up, what we have is the Spool Tech, which I have showed in the last video. I also explained that I've never used it. I've had this Spool Tech for over 3 years now. It is a Pro Series fatty, purple. I have never used it. I will be using it coming more than likely next year, seeing that December is about to be finished. But be sure to look out for a video pertaining to this beautiful Spool Tech right here. Alright, so last but not least, what we have is my little tackle box that I take around. Majority of the time when I'm fishing, I don't leave without it. I apologize about all this. That's some loose line that I've had. So let's go into this little tackle box that I have right here. See what we have here. First things first, we have a little rattler. I got this from Walmart. I have caught bass on it. It does swim beautiful. I love the way this lure swims. I believe it was fairly cheap. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm pretty sure if you go to Walmart, you'll see these. I'm not sure if it was by Ozark or not, but these are beautiful swimming, pretty much knocker baits. You can hear the knocker in there. I believe it's probably 2 BBs in there or 3. But I love using this. As I said, I have caught bass on this before. Next what we have is a topwater frog, green, the simple green and black and yellow. Alright, so what we have here is the simple green, yellow, and black frog color that I'm pretty sure you guys have seen a lot of this color when it comes to frogs. I use this frog for snakeheads. I actually got this frog from my cousin, and I can't lie to you, there was a time where me and my cousin would be fishing and he'd be like, yo, get a topwater frog, and I'd be like, yo, them shits don't work. And surprisingly enough, after a while I did start using them, and when it came to snakehead specifically, I did see that frogs were a better choice of a lure when it came to snakeheads, how they sit on the top of the water. Even a lot of bass, I've gotten a lot of bass hits when it came to this, probably not more than worms, but I do get bass hits off of topwater frogs. As I said, this is a regular black, green, and yellow basic color. And then I have another one right here, which I'm not sure if you guys have seen in the video. I have it hooked up to my 5'6" medium light action pole that I use for bass fishing and a little saltwater fishing. This is a yellow and black topwater frog. It's pretty big and bulky. It's by Ozark. It was $1. I have used it a couple times. I did get hits off of it pertaining to snakehead. and bass. I actually caught my smallest snakehead on this, like really small. It was probably about just 6 inches or a little more than 6 inches. So I do know that this can get hit. And another thing, when it comes to frogs, the hooks sometimes are really close to the body of the frog, so when they do get hit, the fish isn't able to necessarily get. Alright, so as I was saying, I did feel more comfortable using the bait caster while the lure was falling if I didn't have my hand on the spool. I would have to say that yes, using it while the lure was not falling did necessarily make me adjust to the bait caster better. But once I did adjust to the bait caster, it was a lot more simple flicking out this reel. So necessarily once I did adjust to the bait caster, it became simple to cast my line on a bait caster. Right now I'm probably over a little 20 foot when I am casting, but you know, the goal is to necessarily get it out there when we are casting it. He did give me another pointer, as I was saying in the video. When it comes to releasing on the bait caster, you want to release at 1 o'clock and leave your tip of your rod at 12. That way, when it is released, it will then land where the tip of your rod is facing, which is dead in front of you wherever you are trying to cast. And once I did start releasing at 1 and put the rod tip where I necessarily wanted it, whether it was 12 or anything else, then I did go ahead and see a big difference with where the lure was falling, being the top water frog. So I want to thank K&R Bait and Tackle, my boy Gus over there, with helping me learning how to do a bait, helping me learning how to cast a bait caster. I apologize. As I said, I'm sick. My head is just all over the place right now. But again, I do want to thank K&R Bait and Tackle. My boy Gus over there helped me with the bait caster, casting out a bait caster. We actually were having a little conversation pertaining to doing some bait caster classes and even spinning reel classes for the youth when it comes to teaching the youth how to fish and necessarily certain dynamics of fishing. Because there is a lot of kids that love to fish, but they don't necessarily know how, or they're scared. I'm necessarily a grown man. I was scared to use a bait caster, and Gus showed me how to use a bait caster without being scared of the bird nest. So it all varies on the mind and what you're trying to do and how far you're trying to go. Being that it was a goal of mine to learn how to use a bait caster, Gus helped me achieve that, and as I said, I want to show that man much love and appreciation again. And when it comes to teaching the youth how to use a bait caster or even a spinning reel and other dynamics of fishing, when it comes to hooks, worms, and live bait, and even just the areas where fish like to hang out and how fish move regarding to the temperature and just the surroundings, like a lot of this is necessary information that is needed when it comes to fishing. And the fact that Gus did bring it up pertaining to even just the youth alone, and anybody who would want to come to learn necessarily about fishing overall, I felt like this was a big idea. And I mean big as in great. This is a great idea because, as I said, there's a lot of people that love fishing, but they're just scared when it comes to how to go about it. And I really do believe that my guy Gus over there at K&R Bait and Tackle, he does have the patience when it comes to teaching people how to use rods and necessarily teach them about setups. And necessarily he has the teaching skills to where he can teach you how to do something, and just watching him, you will learn how to do it, whether it be casting a bait caster, necessarily lining up your spool, stuff like that, like knowing good combos to use during certain times, necessarily not going ahead and buying a more expensive combo as I was going to do. I was going to go and buy a more expensive bait caster, and Gus did stop me and ask me if I ever owned one before he then followed with necessarily he feels that should go with a little cheaper one, because there will be times when I do get bird nests and I will get mad and I will throw my rod. which he was trying to prevent me from doing, which I have done multiple times. I have thrown multiple rods, I have broken multiple rods because of the rod messing up. But as Gus has said, even in that day, it's not the rod's fault, it is how we are using the rod. So therefore, when it comes to any updates with how to use a rod, whether it be a spinning reel or a bait caster, and information when it comes to lures and other fishing necessities, I will keep you updated pertaining to that, and I will be in contact with Gus when it comes to that plan, if he is going to follow through with it or if he's going to take it little by little, which is no problem when it comes to that, because the plan necessarily was already made. He already said it, so now it's just to act upon it. But yeah, again, those are the lures that I like to use. I told you how I use them. I told you why I recommend them. Pertaining to the baitcaster, I love it. It's awesome. Gus did teach me how to use it. I will be necessarily putting a tag to Gus's Instagram page in this video. So once you do reach the end of this video, you will see a link to his Instagram page that will then tell you the address and so forth pertaining to the bait shop. If you are familiar with South Florida and Broward County, he is in North Lauderdale off of 81st and Kimberly Boulevard, behind the Busy Bee Plaza. I feel like if you do live in Broward, you should know where that is. If you don't live in Broward, that's why I'm going to be putting that link in the video at the end. But I just want to thank you guys for watching Fresh Cut Fishing. I'm here to necessarily do what I do, which is fish, talk about fishing, and explain why I enjoy it. I just showed you guys my lures, my favorite lures, my favorite types to use, my favorite type of ways to use these lures. I am out here in the rain while I'm sick. I'm doing this for you guys, and I just want to say that I appreciate all the love that I've been receiving pertaining to my Instagram and my YouTube channel. And I just want to say, yo, one love, stay safe, much appreciation, subscribe if you wish. Necessarily, I'm not mad if you don't subscribe. As long as you watch and you show love, that's all that necessarily matters. I'm not on YouTube to really make any cash. I just want to share with people what I love to do, and I also enjoy watching myself, love doing what I love to do. So, as I said, stay true, stay safe. Thanks for watching Fresh Cut Fishing with me, Amar. Be sure to go ahead and stop by K&R Bait and Tackle, or even the Instagram page if you are not located in Florida. But my boy Gus got some live shiners over there, got a lot of lures, got some combos. And he also, I forgot to tell you guys this, my boy Gus over at K&R Bait and Tackle does ordering. So if you go in there, he has a book or a couple books when it comes to rods that you can necessarily pick out the rod that you want, and he will order it for you and let you know the day to come and pick it up. Okay, so I forgot to let you guys know that, which is really important, because necessarily you can get a lot of rods from my boy Gus over there at K&R Bait and Tackle in North Lauderdale, 81st and Kimberly, behind the Busy Bee Plaza. And again, I want to say thank you guys for watching Fresh Cut Fishing with me, Amar. I'm sick. I'm about to get the hell out of this rain and go find some tea. So, stay safe.